few weeks, we have been traveling throughout the Midwest, searching for giant whitetail. Our first stop was in Ohio, where it was unseasonably warm and we didn't have any luck finding any big bucks. Our next stop was down to Kansas, where I had an encounter with a nice buck. Take a look.
It's a very cold morning here in Kansas, and we're sitting in the same spot where we sat the first couple mornings, and we've got a really nice buck in the area, and he's got a hot doe with him. He came to about 30 yards, but I had a bunch of branches right in front of his body, and there was just no way I could thread a shot in there and feel comfortable with it. So we're just gonna continue to sit here and just hope that that doe comes our way so we can get a shot off our big buck.
The doe came right underneath us and the buck was right behind her. Meh, meh, meh.
This morning has been just a very crazy morning. We had this really nice buck come in at 30 yards at first, and I just couldn't get the shot because I had branches all in front of him. And then finally, a couple hours later, him and his doe got up, came over to us. Doe came right under us, and he stopped just facing us, and I had branches all in front of him, or else I would have tried to take a shot right here. And then he came, and he just wouldn't stop for me in the right spot. I'm shaking so bad. I've never shot a buck that big, especially with my bow. I just wish he would have stopped. That's like a dream buck right there. Oh my gosh.
That's how our week ended in Kansas. When we return, we head to Iowa to see if we can get a big boy on the ground.
This segment brought to you by Whitetail Institute. Research equals results.
Welcome back. We just ended our hunt in Kansas, and now we're headed to Thunder Ridge Outfitters in Iowa, hoping we can connect with a giant whitetail.
Yeah.
Was it a big one?
It's a good thing you're not hunting here.
He just about missed
Be the only thing you've ever hit here.
me. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
You are?
Hi, good to see you. You know who
You're good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
250 bucks in like 2 days.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
You guys are gonna be on this farm as usual. We were just coming out of lockdown.
That's what was happening in Kansas. Their
yeah.
lockdown
It's like tomorrow and the next day is when it's gonna break loose, I think. And,
Good.
and yeah, I mean, y'all are gonna have some. I don't know. It was 4 or 5 days ago. We're sitting in the lodge, and most of my guys are sitting in there, having lunch and just chit chatting. And there's bucks chasing does all across this valley here. And
After settling in, we headed to bed, and the next morning would start the hunt.
Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. We are in Iowa, the land of the giants. This is my first archery hunt ever in Iowa, and I am really excited. We already saw a really nice 8-point coming into our stand this morning. We came in a little late to set up our hog tree stand and get in here, and we're gonna sit almost all day because they've been moving. They're running really hard, and they're finally starting to come off a lockdown with their doe. So hopefully today is the day. It's day 14 on our whitetail road trip, and I am ready to let an arrow fly on a big buck.
An hour went by before we had our first encounter with a decent buck. Shortly after, we had another buck coming through.
That's our second decent buck in the morning. It's definitely been an active morning, but I'm just looking for one a little bit bigger.
We had a lot of buck activity this morning, but nothing quite big enough. Stay tuned to see how the rest of our hunt in Iowa goes.
Hunter Safety System introduces the Limit Shield, the first ever scent control harness.
It's our second morning here in Kansas, and it's already started out to be a good one. We had a decent 10-point come by. He definitely looked like he has been fighting. The bucks are just all over in this spot. We're just waiting for the right one.
We've been up in the stand here on the second day in Iowa, and the deer are just starting to move kind of late today. It's got to be around 8:30 or so. I got a nice 8-point over here, Michigan shooter for sure, and another one just stepped out over on the hillside over here, real white rack but narrow. We're just waiting for at least another year or two older than these bucks to come through here. It's tough because at home we can be all excited about it, but when you're in Iowa it changes it drastically. But we've been in the stands for 16 days and we're getting a little bit cuckoo. I don't want to see any more trees in front of me anymore. I just want to shoot a big buck and go home. So we'll see what happens here. We're trying to get a big boy down. Jada saw a nice 10-point this morning, but it didn't have very long tines. So she's being selective too, but after 16 days, I don't know how selective you stay. So we'll see what happens.
As my dad was watching this 8-point, they had another buck coming in behind them, and it looked like a shooter. It happened to be the same 10-point I saw earlier on in the morning, but my dad wasn't about to pass him up.
Well, we just had a nice 10-point come through, and he came through like right underneath us. And I was kind of pinned down. By the time I got up, he was through one little gap that I had with some branches through it. I don't know if I hit a branch or what, but definitely didn't hit the deer. We replayed it. I went down, got the arrow, nothing on the arrow. So the way it sounded like is that I tried to get it through this little hole. It sounds like I might have hit something, but I don't know if I could have just got up and got ready, but he kind of had us pinned down. So I couldn't really get up until he kind of got by me. But he was like literally 3 yards from the base of the tree, angled away from us. But no excuse, I should have had him. I don't know. It's disgusting after whatever it's been, 16 days or whatever. Texting Jada now, I'm sure she won't be happy. But he's going her way, so we'll see.
That's hunting, Dad. It doesn't always all come together. We continue to hunt for the rest of the morning, and when we return, we move to a new spot where I get a chance at a mature buck.
He's down.
This segment brought to you by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Well, it is day 17 on our Whitetail road trip, and it's day 4 in Iowa, our second to last day. It took us a little time to find our stand this morning because we had never sat in this stand before, but we know there's a few really nice 150 class bucks and one really big buck. Tony said we know him when we see him, so we're just hoping that a big boy will step out today.
We weren't in the stand for longer than 30 minutes, and we had some does running in. and close behind them was a mature buck. He was clearly a shooter and coming right to us. This was the moment I've been waiting for 3 weeks. Now let's see if I can make it happen. When I let my draw down, the does took off and the buck changed his path. It was now or never.
Didn't get a full pass through.
Broke it off.
Okay, we just got down from the tree. We waited about half an hour, 45 minutes, just to be safe. And I can see my arrow, so we're gonna go pick up the arrow, look at the blood, and decide what to do from there. That looks good. It looks like there's good blood on the arrow. Looks like probably lungs, lots of hair. He's got probably, I don't know, a little over a third of an arrow in him. You got blood?
Look in that field. Look in the field.
He's down! Yes, he's down! Yes! Oh my God.
Look at.
Oh, 17 days in a stand, and I finally made it happen. 17 days, 3 states, finally filled a tag. This beautiful buck here in Iowa.
What a great way to end our 2017 Whitetail road trip. We can't thank all of the outfitters enough for giving us the opportunity to hunt in these beautiful states. That's all the time we have for this week. Make sure and tune in next week and keep up with everything we do in the outdoors on social media and at bigboystv.com.
Can you see that okay? Which means just the cover on in front of you.
And that's a diesel truck.
I gotta throw this away. Do not litter.
I was gonna walk up and go, I just jumped your buck and it went up the hill. And I said, I don't think you made a very good shot.